Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? We're back again with another daily Casper crypto live stream, and we have heard some very big news from the Federal Reserve and from other major developments regarding the Senate as well that have come out just a few hours ago, which is extremely bullish for crypto and the imminent, inevitable institutional takeover. Of course, there are always downsides to institutions getting involved, more manipulation, I'm sure, but either way, you're going to see so much more capital, trillions upon trillions of dollars soon coming to this market. Now, it's not going to be a case of overnight necessarily. It will be a gradual thing and then sudden all at once. Either way, huge news indeed. We'll get into that in this stream and much more. We also got some updates from Jerome Powell, which is both bullish and negative. Some updates regarding the situation and war between Israel and Iran and Trump, and also some very interesting updates regarding Casper as well, predominantly from the head of research at Uphold, Dr. Martin Hyperek. Remember, this is a man who has been paid by Uphold to research crypto projects, to have a accurate opinion on these. He's not going to be 100% accurate, of course. It's still his own belief, but he is paid to be a researcher, so his opinion holds a lot of weight, arguably more than mine, arguably. But that being said, he's made a summary post of Son Polinsky's post that he made a few days back, which we already covered, but we'll cover this post as well because I think it's very insightful. But also, his perspective on why the big tier ones, coins and Binance, have not listed Casper yet, is because Casper is a threat to them, which we've been saying for a while, but hearing it from his mouth is all the more reassuring. We've got all of that and much more to cover in today's stream. So once more, if you enjoy the content of the live stream, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And also stay tuned. I will be releasing, it's been very lackluster, I apologize, the Casper videos, but I'm going to release another Casper video later today, probably in the next 3-4 hours or so. So you could also tune into that and you'll get, again, a kind of a weekly update on what's been going on with Casper so far and ultimately what's coming through. Can Casper reach top 5 crypto in this cycle in the future? Let me know what you think. I think it's also inevitable though, in my belief. That being said, welcome back again to the stream. Dimitar, my man, first once more, as always, love to see it, brother. We are going to moon very soon. I hope so. Again, there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets right now. We could definitely see for the pullback in the immediate short term, but I'm also hopeful that we'll see that push. I mean, all the pieces right now are being placed in accordance for the market to explode. We just need to get the final hurdles out of the way, which will hopefully come soon enough. Welcome back, Falco, my man. You're doing very well, brother. And you too, Buffalo Theory, indeed. Smash the like, Nathan, you know it. And you too, Lau, welcome back, brother. And equally, Wing Hong, my man, welcome back. We moon yet? Not yet, but hopefully soon enough. Mila, welcome back. Hello, Casper Gang, you know it. Kryptoni, here, brother, indeed. Great to have you back again, my man. Obi1.Casper, welcome back, my man. Hope you're doing very well today. Stack bundles, yo to you too. I found the moon button on my miners, totally my fault. Let me flip it. There you go. So now the miner's going to start booming and printing money. When $1, tough to say right now. There's so many catalysts and developments we need to see first and foremost. Truth be told, Casper reaching $1, I still think it's a possibility, but it's going to be a case of we need to see the altcoin cycle properly take off. So I'm going to say a few months from now, but I'll probably come back to that and give my perspective on it later on. Although, again, that's just my prediction, and I don't do predictions very much anymore. Either way, we'll get back to that later on. Point being, let's get into the current, the news, the news, what you're all here for. So right now we can see Bitcoin currently at 105k, not really moving much today. That is because despite the bullish news, we have got more developments regarding the FUD right now, regarding the war in the Middle East. So we should remember that last night, Donald Trump announced a complete and total ceasefire between Iran and Israel, which was, reassuring news. The market's pumped on the back of that as well. And of course, we can see that the markets that we're talking about to pay attention to, being oil, gold, and the stock market, are also reacting in accordance. Oil, apologies, is $65 a barrel now. It's come down significantly. It's come down a lot. Gold, still nearing all-time highs, come down quite a bit today, but even then, it's 6-7% of all-time highs, not far at all. The stock market, S&P 500, is very close to touching all-time highs, the highest it's been in a very long time. It's about to break up above all-time highs again. So all the smart money right now they're still stacking their bags, pushing the markets up that in a corner that we're not getting a world war right now. Again, this could easily flip on its head, but right now things are looking good. And of course, we thought we had a ceasefire until then. And this video is not AI, by the way. There was a video this morning where Trump is talking to the reporters on the front lawn of the White House. And, well, he's just basically saying that Israel and Iran have been at war for so long, they have no idea what they're doing. He said it, you know, a lot more colourful than that. But he's very frustrated, as I'm sure we all are. We want this war to end as well. But, you know, I mean, that's exactly what he said there. I'm not going to say it word for word in case it does, for whatever reason, gets me penalised or banned by YouTube. Even showing that might be a problem. But again, be as it may, Trump has basically told Iran, or Israel even, to not launch missiles back. Which we can find out here from the KBC letter. The post was right here. Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do, it's a major violation. Bring your pilots home now, Donald Trump. Apparently, we have heard that Israel did fire back to some degree. And then it's a whole ordeal. It's a whole ordeal. The war is still ongoing. The ceasefire is very, very fragile. Basically non-existent. So during times right now, it's still a lot of uncertainty in the markets. And of course, the retail are definitely getting panicky. And the smart money are stacking like there is no war happening. So hopefully the end is near and therefore crypto will rally, but again, we'll have to wait and see. What I did say yesterday though as well, and also to my VIPs ahead of time, is what we need to pay attention to, is what Jerome Powell is going to be talking about in the meetings, in the talks having today and also tomorrow as well. And he gave some very, very interesting testimony, good and bad. His testimony started off saying that the Fed is well positioned to wait and see on rate cuts. That's frustrating. Very frustrating because we've been waiting for rate cuts for so long. And Jerome Powell is still holding his wait and see approach. He's still holding on the premise that tariffs will likely push up inflation, weighing on the economy. And my stance personally is, if you're worried about that, I get that, of course. But you're now playing on the let's wait and see approach. But the economy right now is fine. Right now, the economy is well positioned to start cutting rates. The federal governor has been saying so, and many more, you know, I'm going to say politicians, it's probably not the right terminology, but many people who are in these positions, who are in these circles, are saying the very same thing. We can afford to cut rates now. We're going to be seeing 2 more like this year. We can afford to see it, but Jerome Powell still saying no immediate signals or interests in cutting rates right now, because he is still worried that tariffs may push up inflation. Labour market conditions have remained solid. Inflation has eased but remained somewhat elevated. So Jerome Powell saying right now, I don't want to cut rates because while the labour market is looking solid and the inflation has eased down, it could get worse. But the whole premise in my head is like, if you think that, fine, but why not cut rates? And if it does get worse, you then just hike them. Of course, that's not great either. Of course, I'm not the Federal Reserve Chairman, so what do I know, right? But I just feel like if that is the case and you're worried about it, you could be worried about it. If it never comes, then you're just waiting for nothing. I would argue that taking no action is as bad as doing the wrong thing in this regard. Especially when every other major nation, the global monetary policy is pivoting right now. Every single power, Switzerland, Japan, Sweden, the EU, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, UK, Norway, everybody is shifting and cutting interest rates. The US are the only ones to not do it. Jerome Powell's the only one who's still holding and waiting. So I don't exactly know what his game plan is. You could argue more and more that he is playing politics right now because he's so, quote unquote, so worried about Trump's tariffs. He's just not cutting rates, but everyone else is cutting them. So we'll have to see how that pans out right now. So he does say, when the time is right, expect rate cuts to continue. So he is still incentivizing, we'll see them, but again, we just don't know when. Which is a bit frustrating. Although I'd argue actually it's not that bad, especially as a Kaspa holder, because one thing we know is Kaspa's big developments and its fully fledged DeFi will be coming out later this year, in Q3, Q4. So the longer they take to cut rates, the longer the altcoin cycle starts to take off, the more time Kaspa has to become a fully fledged DeFi and then rally significantly when that cycle starts. The good news though, which I'll play the video in a moment, is Jerome Powell also confirmed, verbally confirmed, bigger news as well, that banks are free to conduct crypto activity. That banks are now allowed to engage in crypto. A very big green light here, a very big signal. Listen very closely to the segment of this interview here, or this talk even.
What I do see is a very significant change in the tone, and it really does reflect evolving thinking and the evolving status of the crypto industry. And I would expect over time we'll see more activity.
How is the Fed evaluating and overseeing banks or other regulated entities that are in the digital assets or crypto space?
So our view is that banks get to decide who their customers are. That's not our decision. And so banks are free to provide banking services to the crypto industry, to crypto companies. And banks are also free to conduct crypto activities as long as they do so in a way that is protective of safety and soundness. What I do see is...
Now, of course, we still need to wait for the clear regulatory frameworks to give banks that better clarity and understanding of where they need to go and how to conduct themselves properly to not impeach on the law. But that is a very, very big signal there. The Federal Reserve, one of the biggest banking regulators, saying banks are now allowed to engage in crypto. That's a very big sign for what is about to come to this space. The institutional capital inflows is going to be nuts. Very, very big indeed. So that is some very, very exciting news. And we'll hopefully see that continue. Of course, the stablecoin bill is now in front of the Senate and now hopefully be passed by August. And actually, in that regard as well, the Senate has now drawn up and revealed a complete set of principles for the Digital Asset Market Structure Bill, the Clarity Act, which is equally very, very big. This law hopefully will also be coming before August. Well, August being the timeline that Trump wants for both the bills to come to his desk, we can hopefully see both these bills come through very, very soon, which will be very big news. Of course, the whole premise of this bill is to create a clear, economically rational line distinguishing digital asset securities from digital asset commodities, should be fixed in statute, contemplating existing laws and providing predictability, enhanced legal precisions, and a much needed regulatory certainty. That is what this bill is going to hopefully provide. And we can even see here, we have some early feedback according to the former Fox business journalist Enla Terrett. Former feedback or some early feedback from the DeFi community members that she's been speaking to with, and it suggests that the Senate's market structure principles were actually very well received. Notably, they're encouraged to see a nod to DPIN, which is Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks, something that they say is not explicitly mentioned in the House's Clarity Act. So the Senate right now seems to have a very, very good structure. The House's one is still a little bit off, but the point being is it's still got a bit more drawing up to do. But for the most part, this initial structure, the principles for this bill, has been very well received. So today has been actually a very, very good day for crypto bonds. But the problem is we see all of this FUD headline that takes over the markets. What the markets, by all regards, should be doing a lot better, in my opinion, today. But because people are so held up on Trump and war and no cutting of interest rates, because that's all people care about, they're forgetting to see that these are laying the foundation, the groundwork for what's going to be coming in the next few months. And I'm not talking, I mean, it lays the groundwork for the next years to come as well, but these laws are going to be implemented in the next 2-3 months. The Fed has now said that banks can now get involved in crypto. They're going to wait more so for these bills to be enforced, but therefore you could therefore see, theoretically, a gradual adoption from institutions into crypto, gradual adoption, and then once the bills are fully enforced, it goes sudden. Because then they'll have the actual green light and legislative framework and the clarity they need to get involved in crypto. This is an absolutely huge, huge deal. Very, very big. We even heard apparently Chainlink has partnered with MasterCard to enable over 3 billion cardholders to purchase crypto directly on chain. So we're seeing more institutions, more crypto companies, more crypto projects getting more actively involved in TradFi. So we are seeing what I'll clarify as the great convergence, where you're seeing the crypto space very seamlessly, gradually but seamlessly converge into the traditional financial space, becoming one, where crypto is going to effectively take over the new financial space, and Kaspa is going to be a big part of that. We can hear in this interview here, reposted from Kas Media here, regarding that bill here, the new market structure principle laid out here, that the senators, once who drew it up, they're introducing a new bill providing new legal frameworks for crypto, and of course they're hoping it turns something good for Kaspa as well. It's very closely to this CNBC clip here as well.
Joins us with more on that. Emily, good morning. Good morning, Becky. Yeah, well, CNBC got an exclusive first look at what could be the biggest crypto bill of the year coming out of D.C. Banking Chairman Tim Scott, along with Senator Cynthia Lummis, introduced a framework today for a piece of legislation that would really provide the rules of the road for crypto and other digital assets. Now, this framework includes things like a definition of digital assets, when they would be regulated as a security versus as a commodity. The framework for the bill commits to reducing regulation, and it also says that there is a need for a small common sense package of measures directed at things like preventing money laundering and sanctions evasion. Now, the bill is yet to come, but Lummis, who called for the bill to pass before the end of the year, has said in a statement to CNBC that while the European Union and Singapore have established clear regulations, U.S. continues to sit on the sidelines while the digital asset industry seeks greener pastures. That changes today, she says. The new outline builds on momentum last week when the Senate passed a stablecoin bill with strong bipartisan support. Trump is now pushing for the House to move on that bill, saying on Truth Social that the House must get it to my desk ASAP, no delays, no add-ons. But the House has their own version of not just the stablecoin bill, but also today's introduced bill on market structure. And Chairman French Hill says he wants them to move together before the end of August. So a lot of crypto news coming up on Capitol Hill. Becky?
Emily, thank you.
So yeah, once more, extremely big news. The legislation's coming through. Information that I provided to my VIPs ahead of time, of course, the shameless plug, I know, but the VIP community here that I have, we go through a lot of institutional documents, them looking at what they want to do with crypto, more information that I provide in these daily streams, a lot more in-depth information there as well, and it showcased to us what they plan to do and what catalyst they're waiting out for. The regulations are that big catalyst. The amount of capital are going to be flowing through this year, leading into the next 2 years and the next 5 years from now, is insane. Absolutely insane. So once more, if you want to find out a lot more ahead of time, 7-day free trial as well, so you get that for a week for free. Weekly live streams, trade alerts, educational information and videos and whatnot, alpha information, check it all out. Links down below in the description and equally on my homepage as well. And you also can get access for 1 month for free as well if you follow the steps in the free Discord server as well and sign up to the affiliate link to join BYDFI, someone who we're currently working with right now. And with our working together with BYDFI, you can get many, many benefits, including, again, permanent VIP access to the BYDFI channels that you can see here. And equally, you can also get a 1 month free trial to the VIP group there as well. 70% discount on all future trading fees. And there's currently 2 incentives going on BYDFI where you can have a new user deposit, get a chance to win an extra $2,000 potentially for trading, a bonus for it. And equally, we've got a Casper trading campaign going on as well, a chance to win some free Casper as well, should you win. So if you want to get more involved to potentially make some extra capital and also extra benefits to get access to the VIP group and more of that, then check out the information in the free Discord server, in the affiliate links channel or the Get VIP Access channel. Equally, if you're having trouble, just reach out and message me on Discord and I'll help you out where I can as well. But there's so much more coming to this space. And I mean, yeah, what I'm covering the VIPs as well, I'm very, very happy about how long it's taken, but also our convictions held very, very strong throughout this whole time. Despite the market uncertainty, we have not faltered one bit because we know what's coming. We believe what's coming, and we are, again, eagerly awaiting for it. And Casper, again, has had a very, very tough time. And even Sam Polinsky recently admitted that he is partly at fault for that because his vision on Casper, his way of working on Casper has been purely that of a technical and builder point, which is fantastic, but he understands there's more to Casper than meets the eye, and there's more needed to you to really achieve that upper echelon of cryptocurrencies, which is what he mentions in his post here and what Dr. Martin Hyperrec summarizes here in this post as well. I do cover this in the video later on, but this for me is equally really, really insightful. So to give a brief summary of this, and then I'll get into some questions and then go back to some more of the information. A summary of what Sam Polinsky said. He highlights that Casper's ascension from outside top 5,000 to inside top 50 was insane, of course. During the whole bear cycle, no less. Something that had not been done before, to my knowledge. Insane stuff. And that was achieved purely through retail investors and crypto users and people who just had a lot of fun with the project. But there's a big, big difference when trying to move from a top 50 to a top 5. Casper is top 20, which is fantastic, but at the stage we're in right now, especially now you're seeing all these institutions getting more and more involved, the Fed saying banks get involved, the bills coming through, it's a lot harder now for you to become a top 5, let alone top 10 project now, because all the other big projects, they have some form of big figurehead. Even Bitcoin now has technically Michael Saylor back in it. Technically, Bugs are the figurehead of Bitcoin, technically. You've got Ethereum, who have all the institutions backing it, XRP, you've got BNB with Binance, you've got all the other projects, all really high up there. Sui, they have their VCs as well. So what Tom Polinsky highlighted is that at this stage right now, what cryptos need, what Kaspa needs to become a top 5 is they must appeal to the high net worth individuals and crypto institutions. Now, of course, the other projects, like Sui, for example, Sui was a small project, but it already had reached out to VCs like Raoul Pal and others to help pump that project up higher earlier on, keep it up high, and of course, therefore, they were paid for it, so they can basically use people with exit liquidity. But they did it earlier on. Kaspa, of course, being fair launch, no pre-allocations, no pre-mining, proof, all that sort of stuff. They didn't pay anybody early on, and they're probably not going to. I don't imagine why they would. So instead of just paying VCs like proof of stakes have done to pump the project up, what Kaspa needs to do is prove and showcase these sophisticated investors that Kaspa is a worthy store of value. Something that's going to continuously generate them money and interest over time. Something that right now, and is able to hedge against traditional fiat currencies like the dollar, for example. Now, a problem with store of value is that pretty much has solely been given to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is deemed as the only worthwhile store of value right now, which is fair enough. It's the most dominant. But can Kaspa surpass that? Well, the way it's perceived is yes, Kaspa therefore would have to outperform Bitcoin over a complete market cycle, meaning over a 4-year span. So if we look at Kaspa, compare it to Bitcoin, we can see that Kaspa, up until end of 2024 December, was level 2 or above Bitcoin. It did fantastic end of 2023 when it valued to 15 cents, and then it started coming down a bit in comparison to Bitcoin when Bitcoin had its ETF that launched. But even then, Kaspa was fine pretty much up until August 1st, where you did see Kaspa have its 20 cents peak. And then it had a very, very long dry spell. And it's been continuously outperforming against Bitcoin since then. And now it's currently down 50% or so from Bitcoin. 44%. Now, in my personal belief, it's not financial advice, of course, my belief, I do see a very good possibility that Kaspa does still outperform Bitcoin this cycle. Because for Kaspa, right now being at 7 cents, Bitcoin for me, let's just say best case, it rises to 200k. Let's just say 200k. 2x from here, fantastic. Kaspa can very comfortably rally more than 2x from this point as well. Much more so. So I do see a strong possibility that Kaspa could outperform Bitcoin. And in that regard, therefore, while it did have a lackluster period down here, over a complete market cycle, it would have outperformed Bitcoin. And that would therefore incentivize the high net worth investors to look more at Kaspa as a potential better hedge as a store of value, being decentralized and Bitcoin level security, while also having Solana level, enterprise level scalability, high throughput, and innovation. So Kaspa must Bitcoinize itself to succeed this high echelon to become a top 5, but it can do that not by paying the VCs and the crypto institutions. It can do that not through fundamentals. It's not enough anymore. It can do that though through robust products. So basically, with the release of their DeFi, fully fledged DeFi and their smart contract, when you see more apps being built on Kaspa, that will hopefully incentivize more volume, more transactions, more investors looking this way, wanting to either make their own projects or involve somebody else. There's a lot of stuff coming. That I'm very excited to see come out through, I'm sure, through cashbacks as well, through IGRA. And Martin Heiberg, Dr. Martin Heiberg highlights here, despite recent challenges and the quote painful facelift in his public image, which Tom Polinsky takes responsibility for, the goal is not merely to achieve a higher market cap, but to create actual enduring value that can compete with established assets like Bitcoin. Kaspa doesn't want to become a top cryptocurrency, or to become the top cryptocurrency. That's their goal, and that's what you should always be trying to achieve to, not being a top 5. You want to aim for top 5, but you want to be number 1. And he says, at Uphold, we have been the first to support Kaspa on an institutional grade trading platform like Uphold OTC. It's only a matter of time before the world catches up. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Because also Martin Heidrich highlights something very, very important and I think insightful here as well. You know, off the back of all these posts here, we will never see Kaspa get liquidity of high net worth individuals until Binance, Coinbase, OKX, Crypto.com spot this Kaspa period. Where would Bitcoin's market cap be without liquidity from the exchanges? Sometimes competing with Bitcoin means bringing us back to reality. And Martin Heidrich says here, the reason, and again, this is not, I wouldn't say it's got 100% confirmation, but I think it's a very interesting leak here, again, someone who is paid by Uphold to have information on these matters as well. The reason that Bitcoin and Coinbase have avoided embracing Kaspa spot listing is because they know it's a massive threat to Base, being what Coinbase runs off, the Ethereum chain, and BNB. The reason that Kaspa's not been on the platform just yet as spot listing because Kaspa is faster, secure, and scalable, and cheaper. It is better than Base and BNB. And by them embracing Kaspa, that kind of ruins their business model. Remember something that Chris Kang mentioned and I bring it up so frequently, I feel like, but it's something that I do think is probably one of the best threads I've seen for Kaspa. Because it's for me, it gives me such a level of clarity about what Kaspa's trying to achieve. Existing layer 2 solutions, so therefore like Base, like BNB, might not want to give up their centralized secretive schemes because they already generate income ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars a month. Base and BNB are making stupid money already. So why they want to change? Ordinary users might not realize that the layer 2s they are using are actually a centralized service. However, they should know that Kaspa, with the ability to verify ZK proofs, will become the infrastructure for the entire blockchain world because they have the ability to scale similar to Base, similar to BNB, if not faster than both those two, with their 10 BPS currently and remain decentralized. They don't need to rely on these centralized schemes, they can do it already. This post has aged for me so nicely, and it's only going to age more so as well. The amount of times I'm going to keep reflecting on this post from Chris Kang, you're going to get sick of me doing it. But it's going to happen more and more as Kaspa starts to embrace itself more and more and grow more and more as well. Now, in saying that, there's still a strong possibility in my belief, and that's just a speculative belief, that these exchanges, maybe not Coinbase, but Binance in particular and OKX, when the market is going through that already, when we get rate cuts, when the altcoin cycle starts taking off, again, they will catch up. They will list Kaspa because they understand that Kaspa is innovative and they can't ignore it forever. They tried to ignore Bitcoin. They tried to find market for years. Look where that got them. They're now embracing it in full force. Going to be the same for Kaspa as well. In my belief, it's only a matter of time. When the market is in that pivotal stage where it's going up really, really high and Kaspa releasing all their big developments, they'll jump involved as well. We've seen some more developments, more smart contracts in that regard. We've got some posts here from Kaspador, another post here, which I'll get into in a moment. Before I do, let's get into some questions real quickly first and foremost as well. And where am I? Greetings, Don, my man, greeting from Madrid. Hello, my man, welcome back, my man, who's doing very, very well. On the check-in, LB, love to have you back, brother. Kaspa run to 53 billion, market cap is $2-ish. Yeah, I mean, 53 billion, again, when you think about the level of capital about to come through in this market, with banks now be given the green light by the Fed, with the Senate now producing this the kind of template, if you will, for all the parameters for the market structure bill, the Clarity Act, with what's about to come through to the space, you're going to see trillions flowing in. So Kaspa therefore achieving 53 billion doesn't sound that excessive. I'm not saying it's going to do that, of course not financial advice, but it doesn't sound too excessive. When you look at other projects like Solana, when you look at AVAX went from 2 billion to 30 billion in 3 months. Solana went from 10 billion to 80 billion, 8x in 3 months. Cardano went up to almost 100 billion in its first cycle. And there are so many more projects that I could pick out of thin air that have done insane multipliers, either through the whole cycle period, like more so like Cardano, or in a very short time frame for the last 2 to 3 months in the altcoin season, where they just shot up massively. With what Kaspa's releasing in this time frame as well, they're likely going to have their mainnet for Casplex mainnet should be coming out hopefully soon, if not maybe early Q3, which is what this post kind of gets into a little bit here as well. But equally, Icarus mainnet will likely be coming out in Q4. You'll see native smart contracts by that point as well. Hopefully, you're going to see a lot more coming out that Casper could very well have that massive multiplier. Cardano did that 100 bill almost market cap without smart contracts just yet. It came out just shortly afterwards. So Casper, with what's coming out to the space, despite not having those big tier ones, for it to come in top 5, it does need those high net worth individuals and companies to start looking at the project. It will come through, in my belief still. Welcome back, Sticky Ricky. Hope you're doing very, very well, bro. Buffalo 3. Donald Trump used the F word. Yeah, that's what I mean. For me, it was shocking as well. I've not heard a president say that, on live TV, on their front lawn of the White House, no less. That is insane. That just highlights once more his frustration, what's going on right now. And I get it. I get it, Jay, you said penal. Did I? Well, sorry. Told you Trump had to drop bombs to get the rate cuts. His economy stimulated. I mean, we'll get rate cuts when we get rate cuts right now. At this point, for me, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you get inflation, it starts happening. If, God forbid, oil starts to rally significantly, we will not be getting rate cuts because running of oil will cause inflation. So we cannot see oil rally. If oil stays low like it is currently doing right now, which is great, and it goes lower, we'll have a higher chance of seeing rate cuts. We have to wait and see, though. So why didn't tier 1s list Casper yet? What's the leak? I've just got through that right now. I'm not sure if you joined just after or before, Novi, but yeah, ultimately the leak is... I highlight it as a leak, but it comes here from a head researcher from Uphold who, again, just tried to depict it. He is someone who is paid by Uphold to research into crypto, not just projects, but the kind of space as a whole. So he is someone who's paid to have a very accurate opinion. He's not going to be, again, 100% correct all the time, but he's got a stronger opinion than most. He's in these inner circles. So his reasoning for why these exchanges are not listing Casper right now is because it's a massive threat to their already existing layer 2 infrastructures. That Casper's a threat to them because it's already better than them. Adopting them would put them at a bigger threat. But again, it's only a matter of time. They cannot avoid it forever. It's only a matter of time before the world catches up and they start adopting Casper like Uphold have done. Good evening, Casper Frob. Man, it's been a very, very long time. Great to have you back, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well as well. I'm doing much better today. It's been a long weekend for me, but today has been a much better day for me. And I'm looking forward to making more content as well. And speaking to you all once again. Uphold knows what's up. Yeah, 100%. 100% Uphold is definitely... I mean, again, Martin Harper's the one that's been saying that Bitcoin is the Casper testnet. That he's been saying that for a long, long time now. He sees the vision in Casper. And soon everybody will see it as well. And soon this institutional capital is going to go to pretty much everywhere else first but Casper. And then once Casper releases its smart contracts, is layer 2, layer 1.5, you're seeing the bridge from... Because that's why Casper's also going through EVMs first. I'm going to see Ethereum dApps come to Casper very quickly. You'll probably start seeing Ethereum liquidity start to come to Casper slowly but surely as well. And you'll see Casper start to steal liquidity from other chains as well, with more VMs coming out. You're going to get involved into the Solana chain, the Sui chain, the Bitcoin chain as well. Probably every other chain as well. It's going to be in trouble with everything. Casper's going to change this space to become that blockchain infrastructure, the infrastructure for the entire blockchain space. It is the end game. Now, it's not a sprint of the mouth, and it's going to take some time, of course. But I do think you'll see those early signs of cycle. I think you'll see it the cycle, no doubt. The financial gate opened today. The financial gate opened today. It's a matter of time. There's no second best of currency, and there's only one, and that's the Casper. I agree. I completely agree. It's only one currency, and it's going to shine better than ever before, and it is Casper. What's up, DD bro? You're doing very, very well, brother. Good to have you back, my man. Time to be the third in market cap, ping in all the trillions. I mean, can Casper reach number 5 this cycle? It's a big ask. It's a big ask. When you look at the top 3 right now, being Bitcoin, Ethereum, and interchanging between USDT and XRP, you're looking at over 129, 150 billion, and these are going to go up much higher. XRP, I think, quite comfortably reaches 400-500 maybe in the cycle, truth be told. If everything pans out the way they're doing it, they've got Hidden Road, a prime brokerage partnership. They've got some very, very big... you've got other institutions now launching ETFs for XRP as well. So I do think you'll see XRP do very well. So can Casper therefore reach above, top 3 being 500 billion, or even just top 5, looking at what, probably 100 and... Well, top 5 even then is going to be what, probably about 250, I'd say worst case. Can Kaspa reach 250 a cycle? I think 250 is probably, I mean, it's a bit out of reach. You know, that would be what, a just lower than a $10 Kaspa, which is what all the Moonballs were saying a lot earlier on, which I think that's a possibility to achieve in the future. You know, from my belief, no doubt. This cycle, I'm not so sure, because it's a big ask without the high net worth investors in just yet, and that takes time. Again, XRP, Tether, BM, these didn't get here overnight. They took a while to rally up. Even Solana had its massive blow off at the end of the last cycle, and then it's been comfortably around here. Once the cycle comes to an end, and then you see the whole kind of rebuilding phase in the potential so-called bear market, then Kaspa, I think, will make that big push towards top 5. I think Kaspa can still potentially push to top 10, potentially. We'll have to wait and see once more. Again, it really does depend on if we get the tier 1s, and also if we do get the high net worth investors. Because while retail's fantastic and they got us to top 20, the high net worth is going to get to top 5. And Son Polinsky recognizes that, and he thinks it's possible. It will happen, but it's not going to be an overnight thing. So we've got to wait and see. Again, I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to see all these institutions, you know, fronting they're buying up XRP and buying up Bitcoin, but actually they're just buying up Kaspa behind the scenes and just being quiet about it. I'd love for that, because hey, we're here where Kaspa's at 7 cents. You know, 7.4 cents. That's insane. Someone's got in down below at the 5. Someone got in earlier down here. We're here very early, and with that, you'll see the memes also explode as well. Zero going parabolic, Nacho, PBCast, all of these ones will do fantastic. Of course, the ones that are offering some real utility. Again, I think you're going to definitely, with the market clarity bill, I think you'll definitely see a crackdown on a lot of the memes that are useless. And there will be some memes here that will be useless, I'm sure. Scams. So they're actually building something real, then they'll be fantastic. And you'll see many more stuff coming to Kaspa as well. KRI, I mean, you go back to this post here as well. The KRI says, you know, but do they want to risk to get left behind? Progress is unstoppable. They know that too, and certainly want to influence the outcome somehow. The threat to them is bigger than they know in Kaspa. And KRI says here, Kaspa represents a new long-term asset class. It's completely different. It's unique. That is an existential. I can't say the word. Existential threat to many of the rest of the players on the playing field. So maybe we need to define brand new routes to market. There are a couple of others out there that synergistically work well with Kaspa, like Tau or Bitensa. That is a great foundation for start from. And he just basically said that, you know, we are already working with the Zero Emission Trading Exchange, the ZETX, which is for arguably a much bigger addressable market. Let them have their memes. And again, we'll have to see what comes from it, but you've got institutions like the KRI, which hopefully will see it come and bear fruit soon enough, that are going to help Kaspa reach that next level as well. So in that regard, you could argue maybe 250 bill markup's not too much. Maybe. If you've got the KRI putting Kaspa into a bigger market cap, that's going to also take place this year. This stuff is not years away. I mean, this level of adoption, how long it will take is quite a while away, but the actual utilization of Kaspa in these big markets is starting this year. It's starting in the next 6 months. You've been waiting and holding Kaspa for what? 6 months, a year, 2 years? What's 6 months to you? And then what's 1 year on from that as well? And what's 2 years on from that as well? It depends on how long you're holding Kaspa, of course. I don't think this is a long time at all. And I think Kaspa's got some massive things coming through. You'll see these massive crypto industries and high net worth individuals inevitably adopt Kaspa because they cannot avoid it. They cannot avoid it. And you'll see hopefully the big event coming very, very soon. Before I get some more questions real quick, we've got an update here. So Vic highlights here, it would be fantastic if Casplex and Kaspador could provide some insights on how the testnet is progressing. Is there any issues encountered, actions taken, and possibly future mainnet deploy date? And Kaspador got back very, very quickly, which is great to see. Love the guy. Testnet is working perfectly fine. Issues were identified in terms of the UI, but nothing critical on the back end, which is great to hear. The testnet was stressed a few times now with 2 downtimes, and fixes were implemented. The deployment of the mainnet, unfortunately, is still to be decided. Which is a shame, because he did say that we'll find a date, hopefully. Sometime last week he said we'll find a date, but they're still not decided just yet. So his belief in saying a mainnet is going to be dropping before Q3 is looking more and more unlikely as we are now 1 week away from that. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I imagine worst case it will therefore be happening in July. Lots of other things are developed, not necessarily by Casplex now, and the layer 2 is stable. These things are needed for, and again, the announcement to be issued later on. So there's still a lot of things that they are keeping to their chest, which is understandable, is what it is. And there are dApps built without any X marketing, so I expect way more utilities once mainnet is out. So there are apparently also more dApps, more things that are being built on Casplex right now that haven't got any X accounts, any X marketing. So we already know some projects. Zealous, you've got Casway, you've got Cassia has come out as well. You've got Casper.com. You've got some other platforms as well that are building. I'm sure I've missed some, and I apologize if I have missed some. But there are apparently even more that have not even been named because they haven't got any X marketing. So you could see a very, very almost overwhelming mainnet once it is out, with so much going to be built on it, which is to an extent reassuring. So again, we're still waiting for the mainnet launch, and that's frustrating. Hopefully we'll find out very, very soon. But again, you also have the testnet for IGRA coming out in mid-July as well, which will hopefully be fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing everything it release as well. From what I do know so far, which is still not a lot, but from what I do know, they've got they're cooking a lot right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be releasing as well, IGRA. And we'll have both Casper and IGRA healthily competing together to try and emerge as the better layer 2, if you will, on Casper. And again, this will bring some robust products to Casper and therefore incentivize these high net worth individuals to jump on Casper, to start looking at Casper, start investing into Casper, to see if Casper can become Bitcoinized, to achieve that store of value element while still having salon level execution. Again, the Casper outperformed Bitcoin for a very, very long time. It's fallen off recently due to the whole stagnation and, tough period for Casper, but that can easily flip on its head. Easily. Once you get the altcoin cycle properly taking off, Casper will outperform Bitcoin. And then hopefully, Casper will continue to outperform Bitcoin from that year onward as well, with the KRI as well. Because Bitcoin is only ever going to be a store of value. Casper is going to be utilized in these markets, the energy markets, these cross-border payment markets, these real estate markets. Everything. It's going to come to Casper. 250 ANL reach, man. I mean, again, 250 puts it just off $10. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the $10 is very much the moon boy number, and ultimately nobody knows because it's such an extortionate price. I mean, 250 right now, billion market cap, is insane for where we're at right now. That's absolutely insane. We're not even at 2 billion right now. I mean, 2 billion, 250 billion, that's over 100x from where we're currently at. That would be absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. I'm not saying it's completely impossible, but I'm not also going to say here, it's definitely going to happen. Because no one knows. There's so many catalysts needed to us to see a almost $10 Casper. I do think that seeing AVAX level pumps is easily achievable. That's as far as I'll say in regards to price predictions. I think AVAX is easily achievable. What it did in the first cycle went from 2 bill to 30, a 15x in 3-4 months. I think that's easily achievable for Casper with what they're releasing as well, and I think Casper's better than AVAX in all regards as well. I think that's achievable. Can it go higher than that? We have to see how the market plays out. We have to see how the community is feeling, because the problem is there's a lot of fun in the community. Once Casper breaks, and for me it's a matter of if, again, when Casper does break, that zone up here, 20 cents and beyond that 30 cents as well, all the people who have been funding Casper for a very, very long time, they'll disappear. People who are understandably funding Casper because the price has been terrible. Once it breaks above that, they'll reminisce on the bad times back here, but they'll be up right now. And once it's going through there, that's price discovery. If we're in the right stage of the market and we're getting the good listings from tier 1s and the developments coming out, it could just keep doing that. You'll see pullbacks, of course, as any project, but it'll keep making that next leg up. And then you've got to be very careful to make sure you don't try and time the top. Timing the top's where you're going to get liquidated. Well, if we are talking about banks and big financial companies, we can make it. I mean, the best thing about crypto, is that with crypto, with DeFi literally lets you become your own bank. That's information that I've got in quite a lot of detail in my VIP group as well. You want to find out more, once more, shameless plug, link down below in the description and on our homepage as well. DeFi is a very, very big matter. It can let you be your own bank. So in that regard, you can have your own bank be your own bank with Kaspa once they have their fully fledged DeFi out. You have liquidity pools coming out thanks to Zealous and whatnot. You'll see more stuff coming out as well. And yeah, of course, don't forget the KRI, exactly. Ethereum's garbage house market cap went from 9 bill in March 2020 to 540 billion in November 2021. I mean, in that regard, yes, I agree, but the difference as well is that back then, Ethereum was one of a few. There's a lot smaller competition back then. The competition right now is significantly larger. While Kaspa is much more innovative, the competition right now is much larger. And there's, of course, again, you got companies like XRP and the Ripple who've got their reach everywhere. You got definitely, I would not be surprised, and I have no proof of such, but I'm going to speculate there's definitely, again, and even Martin Harper says here as well, there's definitely an element of suppression and ignorance from these big crypto companies and institutions and whatnot who are ignoring Kaspa because they are a threat to what they already provide. So in that regard, Ethereum did fantastic, insane. And in that regard, Kaspa is much better than Ethereum, so in theory it should do that, but again, the competition was less back then. And Kaspa got a higher battle to, go through in that regard. But I'm optimistic. Go zoom out on the weekly. Zoom out on the weekly. I'm going to talk about for Kaspa right now. And I mean, yeah, if you look at the weekly for Kaspa right now, it's still, if it does find that level here, it's technically still forming that higher low pattern here, technically. So it could still very much be going for the next leg up now and then come back up and go down again. So, I mean, yeah, again, Kaspa weekly charts, if you're looking at a very, very long-term hold, and I would argue Kaspa is that. Kaspa's chart still looks, I mean, this is rough, this is rough, but it's, for the most part, still one of the healthiest charts in crypto by a very large margin. Ethereum has smart contracts pretty much since its inception. That was the whole point of Ethereum, was to program Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, Ethereum had that advantage early on. Why BNB base lose Kaspa and shoot themselves in the foot? Makes no sense for them to ever list it. It cannot be unavoidable without tier ones. I mean, yes and no, but the thing is, Kaspa is interoperable with those other platforms, or at least it will be with Base, with Ethereum. I'm not sure how much longer it'll take with BNB, but it will be interoperable with Base. So you have a point there. Why they list Kaspa if it ruins their own product? You got a point there, but if they could adopt Kaspa and Base is therefore completely interoperable with the Kaspa layer 1 or layer 1.5, and all it does is make Kaspa faster, or it doesn't make their base platform that they use faster and cheaper, and therefore generate them even more income, it's going to be beneficial for them. It means that they're going to lose, their home ground effectively, but it also makes them better as well at the same time. It comes down to just, end of the day, I don't think they're going to ignore Kaspa. I don't think they will. I think they eventually will list Kaspa because it's going to be in their best interest for business as well. But right now, when Kaspa's still building and they're still generating they're still generating millions of dollars a month, they don't need to change right now. But when Kaspa gets too big to ignore, they can generate more income and then go to Kaspa instead. It all depends on the big boys VCs to get out of Solana and Ethereum and go to Kaspa. Tier 1 exchanges are critical for creating volume and ability to buy Kaspa easier. I agree as well. But I do think it's going to happen either way. I mean, it's not even just me who believes it. Dr. Harper believes it as well. It will happen in a matter of time. You never heard on X how much market cap KII can bring to Kaspa or when KII stables are the only hope for 2025. I mean, we have heard that the KII are taking Kaspa into markets that are meant to be reaching 3 trillion. They've got the stablecoin market, 3 trillion market by 2027, 2028, and equally the energy market, also 3 trillion by 2028. So the markets aren't the biggest right now, but they're going to explode significantly over the next few years. That has been spoken about in Twitter live spaces and whatnot, and I've even shown it in a few of my videos as well. So they are going to take into very, very big markets. Kaspa doesn't need any KRR stables to do what Bitcoin has done. Yeah, I mean, obviously having them would be fantastic to help more immediate movement. Without it, it'll take Kaspa a lot longer to gain the adoption. But I think we'll get it either way. It only needs time. now they have enough legacy cryptos. They don't need Casper, only if Casper gets adopted in a big time they will. I mean, again, it's a difference of opinion ultimately, because there's arguments for and against. There's a logical argument for why they don't need Casper, but also a logical argument for why they do need Casper. Because every single project right now has a fundamental issue, which is their centralized nature. As an institution, fine, you know, in a place that's very heavily centralized, they won't really care that much, I guess. But as you've seen from the likes of the KRI, there are still a massive group of institutions out there who inherently want to do certain elements and certain products and whatnot, but they don't want to have that government oversight, that centralized control that can just stop whenever they want to do. They want to have the centralized market to do things. So there's still a massive, massive market for having truly decentralized products. So in that regard, they don't need Casper, but they do. That's what I mean. It's argument for both, because if you've got like BlackRock, they could, in theory, buy up Coinbase, buy up Ripple. They won't care if it's centralized. They control it, fine. But then you've got people who are working with the KRI and DRI who want a decentralized market. They don't want to be controlled by BlackRock. And then once they take over in the decentralized market with Casper therefore becomes too big to ignore, and then Black will have to get involved in a decentralized manner without taking it over. It's argument for and against. I think Casper is still going to shock people. That's my personal belief. Of course, not financial advice. I think Casper's going to shock people, and I think again, Martin Harburg is right. It's a matter of time, and these tier ones will eventually embrace Casper, because despite being a big threat, it's a bigger threat to ignore them with what they're trying to do with the KRI working as well. Too big to ignore. These products will be coming out in the next few months, transforming Casper into a fully fledged DeFi, bringing more adoption, more volume, more trading, more incentive to use Casper, pushing people out of Ethereum more towards Casper as well. It's going to be huge. And yes, Kryptonic says if you like the videos, hit that like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. You know the deal. Casper has a lot of people's watch list, 110k on CoinGecko. I mean, yeah, even on CMC. CMC is 335k. A lot of people are watching Casper. There are currently over 500,000 addresses holding Casper. Of course, it doesn't mean people with addresses, but even then, you've got a lot of people holding Casper right now. And yes, Sui, in that regard, you know, if you look at Casper right now, 335. You look at Sui, which I imagine might be bigger here on CMC. We'll have to wait and see. 500. Yeah, Sui is 200k higher, but it's on CMC. But even then, on other platforms like CoinGecko, it's lower. It depends on what you look at. And again, Sui has that VC interest. Casper can get that in a natural way. And even then, Casper's chart still, for the most part, is much better looking than Sui's anyways. Will Casper reach $2 a cycle? It's a possibility. I won't say it will, I won't say it won't. It's a possibility. That would be a $53 billion market cap. And again, if you look at AVAX, look at Solana, which went from a 9-10 bill in the last cycle to 80 billion, it's a possibility. You know, when you think about what Casper provides, which is Bitcoin level security with Solana level infrastructure, it is a possibility. Wrong thing. Market cap. It went from the beginning of the cycle, around 3 bill, rallied up to about 7 billion, down into July, and then from 7 billion all the way up into 71, 80 billion or so. 10x for Solana in the last cycle. And that's in about 3-4 months, 3-4-5 months. Casper, in theory, could do the same when you have even more institutional adoption coming through. The Senate are passing bills. The Fed are saying banks can now get involved in engaging crypto. Casper continues to build more and more, and the founders are acknowledging that their strategy of Casper has been a good one for building, but not a good one for marketing and getting its name out there to the high VC and high net worth individuals and companies, and they're trying to change that right here and now. Refers to Ethereum's weekly market cap and see the run up. Okay, I'll do that. Yes. Ethereum. I don't know why I did that. I could have just done it here and go to the weekly. You talk about the last cycle. Yeah, we can see that here. For this cycle here, you saw it go from, all the way down here, all the way up to here. And that's in price. I probably can switch to market cap on TradingView, but I never do it, so I don't actually know how. But either way, the price wise, you saw it rallied up from 2020. 2020 bottomed down here in March. Then rallied all the way up here to its peak, just short of 5k up here. Span of a year. It's insane. And that's once, you know, the smart contract proof of work. Yeah, it's not. And even then, earlier on as well, all the way back here, equally was insane. And Kaspa in that regard is more innovative than Ethereum. It's literally based off of Ethereum's protocols are literally based on Belinsky's work. Of course, Ethereum had that lack of competition, so there are benefits to Ethereum and why it did so well. But Kaspa in that regard, like if you look at Kaspa where it's at right now on the weekly, look at Ethereum where it's at the weekly, the charts aren't that dissimilar, I'd argue. It's a matter of if, you know. The weekly does look good, I agree. I say the KI wants to send a node into space. They can gather funds and advertise with their 30-minute prior to the opening bell on CNBC at least 1 or 2 times. Think Kaspa. I mean, I think the KI have got some very interesting projects with Kaspa, and I'm looking forward to see what's coming through. What's up, Fabian, my man? Hope you're doing very, very well, brother. Hope you had a very, very good day so far. Need more questions for it. Solana spot taken for the next few years? Maybe. Does anyone else Yahoo Live keep cutting off? How to fix the issue? I don't use Yahoo, brother, so I cannot say, unfortunately, fan. I personally use Chrome, or I am contemplating switching to Firefox because Chrome is terrible. Although Chrome have done some update. I mean, Chrome's just very CPU intensive and RAM intensive, so I might use. But all of them are really. What's up? Good to go to you, bro. You're doing very, very well, my man. Welcome back to the stream, brother. I'm working for a Kaspa TipTalk app for creators to receive tips only in Kaspa for their content. Do you think it's a good idea? I mean, if Kaspa becomes this like foundational currency in this kind of infrastructure, then yeah, it'd be a fantastic idea. If Kaspa becomes this new what's the word I'm looking for? There's a particular word for it where things are denominated in a currency, like how everything's denominated in dollars. Everything in the future could be denominated in Kaspa. So I mean, yeah, I think at this point, with such early level of adoption and innovation for Kaspa, anything is great. Building on Kaspa is fantastic. So by all means, Todd, run it. Definitely run it, and hopefully it takes off. But it'd be a good idea. I hold Kaspa, and I think it's the best, and therefore will be ignored. But I also understand that big money is already balls deep into XRP, Ethereum, Solana, Sui, Bitcoin, etc. This is the ETF institutional cycle. Yeah, I agree. Top of Ethereum again. I might just be. Oh, there. Yeah. Oh, okay, I see it. Thank you very much, Kryptoni. And you know, I mean, there's an element to here where I do also agree with you as well, Brad. That, yeah, I do believe in Kaspa wholeheartedly, is why I'm in it, but there is definitely a belief that it could be ignored. Now, my belief in that's quite small, because I do think they have the right mentality and they have the right connections already to do well. The KI being a big part of that as well. I think they're still going to do fantastic. But I do agree that we are in an institutional cycle where all the eyes are now on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Sui, XRP, and so on and so forth. So it may make Kaspa's blow off a little lackluster, potentially, but I still think Kaspa's going to do fantastic this cycle, and even them take over from that point onwards as well. Because again, what Kaspa's going to be building is going to allow everything to run off top of it. Yeah, you can see here, the Solana from 11 billion to a $500 billion market cap. Insane stuff. Insane stuff for Ethereum in the last cycle. March 20 to March 2022. I mean, even then, it's actually... It's from here, March 9th of March 2020 to November 21st, 29th of November 2021. A 5,000 multiplier, insane. Can Kaspa do that? I mean, that's a bit steep, I think, because more competition as well. But Kaspa could definitely see a massive multiplier. Again, if Son Polinsky can act on and be able to provide this, I mean, that's one thing they are trying to do as well right now. Because remember, Michael Sutton and Son Polinsky said they are trying to release a roadmap now for Kaspa. The roadmap is actually also a way to incentivize the big institutions to know what they're trying to build with Kaspa, because they can hear finding information on Kaspa very, very hard. If they have an actual structured time of what's trying to be built for Kaspa, like when the Dagnight's coming out, when the smart contracts are coming out, when the zero proof decay is coming out, and everything else is coming. They have that structure. They'll be like, okay, now I can choose when I want to start signing in. Right now, they've got a rough roadmap they made themselves, probably. Brave. Oh yeah, Brave. Yeah, I've heard about Brave actually. Brave is not bad at all actually. I should probably get onto Brave as well. The problem is if I try to set it all up, like I already have like, you know, you already have your your routine, you already use stuff and it's kind of working fine, and the whole like coding mentality, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's not great. Brave will probably be better, but trying to switch everything over to Brave might take a bit of time. So I have to do it on maybe one weekend when I'm not working. Is it possible? Welcome back, Alyssa. You're doing very, very well. Is it possible we just keep heading sideways with Kaspa and Mun next year? Seems like everything is being held back. I mean, anything's possible, truth be told. My belief is it's unlikely because we're going to see massive adoption. We're going to see altcoins take off, and I think Kaspa's going to catch that as well. Kaspa's a top 50 asset. It's like, despite its lack of tier 1 listed institutional investment and VC, despite its lack of big high net worth individuals, investors, it's still a top 50. So that alone, retail's going to pump it. Still going to pump it. So I do think Kaspa's going to do very, very well. And I think that the release of smart contract stuff that will also generate more eyes on Kaspa from institutions and probably start incentivizing more big listings as well. Again, anything's possible. So I don't want to sell you a false dream. That's not my premise here. It's just, I think Kaspa is still in a strong enough spot to where it's not a cause for concern for me personally. It's a pain in the bum, but worth it in the end. I mean, I agree. It's an easy transition. I did it Chrome to Brave. Okay, well, in that case, I'll have a more look into it. It's more so the unknown as well. I haven't done it, so I'm assuming it'll take a while, but if it's actually that easy, then I'll make sure to get on that as well. Kaspa is coming for these other blockchains, deal with it. I mean, yeah, again, it's a matter of time, not a matter of if, matter of when. And we have got some very big things happening right now. Rate cut's still holding off, and that's great, giving us more time to build as well with Kaspa. Fantastic news, more rate cuts being delayed, and we're seeing everything taking off as well right now, more adoption, and Kaspa again going to be a surprise for people, I'm sure. That being said, that's for today's Kaspa and Crypto Live. If you enjoyed, leave a like, share your friends, and subscribe for more. I'm not ignoring your comments, like I'm reading them. I just, Solana is straight garbage, I agree. Like proof of stake does not fit in a blockchain, I agree as well, and all of them do rely on Amazon AWS or some centralized cloud service. Yeah, Kaspa is, much more superior in that regard. I completely agree with you, Kryptonia. I'm not trying to ignore the point at all. I think we're completely in agreement. What's up, Greg, bro? You're doing very, very well. Super late due to work. That's all good, man. Watching replay. Well, hopefully enjoy the replay because the stream is about to come to an end. This is going to be leading alpha from the banner yesterday. I'll have a look at that as well if I can. There's a lot of stuff I need to be looking into right now. I've missed quite a lot of stuff because of my whole weekend that I was preoccupied, but I'll try and catch up on everything else as well. If you can link some of that stuff to me, go through on Discord. I'll have a look through them tonight as well if you can, please, brother. But that being said, yes, hit the like. We got 38 likes. If we can make 50, it'd be amazing. All the love, QC. Love you too, Kryptoni. Glad you being here once again, my man. Just now, got a Grayscale Trust, and that's being SXT. Never heard of space and time. But, I mean, fair enough. Good for them. That being said, though, if you enjoyed, again, leave a like. Share your friends, guys, for more. If you want to know more about crypto and Kaspa and other stuff, check out the free community. And equally, the VIP as well. More in-depth information there as well. You can get a lot more extra information and benefits if you sign up through the affiliate link to the BYDFI channels. All information down below in the description. And equally in the free Discord server as well. So please, by all means, come check it out. If you want to find out more, have a great day, evening, good night, people, my family, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.